everybody fancies themselves a relationship expert these days, you know, and there's all these like toxic conversations and with people offering an opinion. And it feels a little like, you know, you break up and all of a sudden you become Confucius with somebody, you know? And I look at the younger people talking about their experience with dating, and it makes me a little sad because it feels like there's a lost art of how we relate to each other. And so I'm curious, a lot of conversation about who pays for what. On this journey to dating, do you care about who is paying for these activities? When you go to dinner, who's paying?
Right. I absolutely care. But I grew up in a household where I've never seen my mom like pay for a dinner, right? I mean, maybe if she feels like it or if she's inclined. So I relate to the way I grew up, right? Like I grew up in a way where you take care of yourself. You make it on your own. You figure out what your goals are and you accomplish them. And if you're dating somebody, you date somebody that has similar goals to you. So when they come in the picture, they can help with those goals, right? So if that goal is us going to dinner, you should help with that goal and pay for dinner. Honestly, I think I'm sometimes a bad Gen Zer in this conversation because I tend to not participate because I don't even like to date men who bring it up. I like men who don't question if they need to take care of it, because if you are seeing me happy, if you see that I love this dinner, we're enjoying ourselves, and you want the night to continue, you should pay for dinner. Now, will I pay for like the next round of drinks, or maybe if we go out for dessert? I would absolutely offer that. But when it comes to paying, if it's a question, it's probably not a person I'm going to date.
You think it's a gentlemanly thing to do?
Yeah, I think it's a gentlemanly thing to do. And I think when you actually really like somebody, you want to see them happy. You want to pay for things. Same thing if I really like a guy, I'm probably going to offer to pay for things, but never more things than he's paying.
Let me be honest with you, Miss Teeny. I offer to pay for dinner if I'm on a date. If I don't like the guy at all, then I insist on paying for everything. I just feel better. It's cleaner. I'm like, no, Slim, I got this. Thank you so much. This was wonderful. Be on your way. When you go out on dates, who's paying?
He pays.
He pays every time. Do you think that's how it should be?
Yes, it should be. But there are times when I usually like when I go to dinner and they pay and what have you. There's so many dinners you need going to, so I will cook for them.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, or as a gift or something, I would buy them gifts on their birthdays, or I would give them a pedicure.
Oh, nice.
You know, like if their father or something, I would do them a pedicure.
Yeah.
Or a massage or something. But I don't go out of my way to spend crazy money on them because I don't buy men, you know?
Now, I know that you said that you meet men at church gatherings. Where else? At 85, where else are you meeting men?
You're usually meeting men, churches. I never really go out into that, and I have been approached by, I don't do church like that. Anyway, I usually meet them through friends or at a gathering, or somebody will say, I want to introduce you to Tina or something like that. That's how older people, they don't have, they're not savvy with the dating apps or what have you. So usually you meet them through gatherings, friends, or, places like that. But when I meet men, I was taught to be self-sufficient, not needy, because when you're needy, you're asking for something and you don't know how you're gonna pay for it, And I was taught that our VJ is a pocketbook, and you can use that pocketbook however you feel, but you have to have some little morals about yourself.
Yeah, let's pause there. The VJ is a pocketbook. I don't know that I quite see it that way, but I get your point. I mean, you do have to have morals. But it sounds like it's like transactional, You saying, exactly.
I'm kind of with you, Miss Tina. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You have that pocketbook. You can use it any way you want, but you have to know your morals and your standards and what you say. And when you meet men, I think you need to meditate on anybody that you're going to date. Meditate, period, really. You have to have a diary. Tell what you want. What are your standards? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a husband, or you just want a relationship, or what? You have to get into yourself as to what you want to in a man. And 9 times out of 10, you come out pretty good with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that advice. I think what you said, we're on a thumbtack to VJ because I want to come back to that. But I think what's interesting is the conversation around dating apps. You've never been on one. Kelsey, you're a young person here. Yes. Are you on the apps?
I've been on them. I've been on Tinder. I've been on Hinge. I've been on Raya. And I'm very much off of them. Like, it is.
What was your experience?
So I feel like Tinder was an era of, honestly, my mom's going to kill me that I say this, but casual sex. Like, that is what I was probably using it for. Mm-hmm. And it was making me sad. Like, it was making me sad having all of these. It felt like meaningless relationships with people, and I wanted much more meaningful relationships with them. Yeah. So I switched to Hinge because I had a friend who met a boyfriend through Hinge, and they were having like a great relationship. It's like, oh, let me give it a try. And it felt like casual sex hidden with just more information about the person before you meet them. Mm-hmm. And kind of to Ms. Teeny's point, like, I really had to step back and realize I'm meeting strangers on the internet, and I'm going out with them. I'm sometimes letting them into my home. I'm going into their home. And it took me back. I had like a very unsafe experience. I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. But then I tried Raya because I was like, okay, Raya is one that you have to be pre-approved. And I like black men, and I'm just going to keep it straight. The black men were not my type on there. Like, they look like they did not like us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you can see it through the profile and the haircut. It's like, yeah, they don't like us. Yeah. And I feel like with dating apps, I am very much committed to actually going out in person and meeting people, right? Mm-hmm. Like, whether it's a work event or an after work event, my friend might have a Christmas party for her, I don't know, where she's working, and I'll go to that and intentionally try to meet people. But the dating apps have really started to freak me out. So I'm like, these are complete strangers, and it's so difficult to measure people's intentions. Like, I hear what you say about you have to tell people what you want, but I feel like on the internet, people will just become what you want them to become, right? Mm-hmm. If you tell them over text, I'm looking for a boyfriend, by date 3 or 4, they're going to be acting like your boyfriend. But by date 8, once they get what they want, they disappear and change. So I feel like the internet is not, for me personally, a good way to meet people, especially because I have a profile on the internet. I have a personality. I've noticed some people will like come to me and seem like they know me, say information. So I'm off the dating apps. I'm very much about meeting people in person. I also think, right, if you meet somebody at a work event, they're at the same work event. So they've already shown that you all have some goals, you all have some things in common. But the dating apps they're definitely not for me anymore.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm age-wise between you two. And I did a dating app once, maybe 10 years ago, met a person immediately. We went out a few times, dated for maybe like 3 months. He got on my last damn nerves. And that was that. Yeah. And I never tried it again. I think it's really for people who have challenges meeting people, and it seems to be the way that people date nowadays. There is something impersonal about it. I grew up without that, and navigating a world where that was new. And so it's just not been my thing personally. I also, I'm just kind of private, so I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. And I do think there's a lost art to like spit your game, talk to me.
Because if you can come up to me,
say something.
It's already letting me know something. You're showing full interest
completely
versus a like.
Completely.
That's
so most men, when I have met men, it's been through other people. Someone says, hey, or they've talked to somebody on my team or someone in my circle and have asked to meet me. And so I've dated a lot. I've gone out on a lot of first dates. It hasn't always led to a relationship. But I think this brings up the question around sex, or using your pocketbook, like Miss Teeny said. I think, that is a thing in dating. So if I'm dating and we're trying to figure out if this is a good relationship, are we having sex? Are we being intimate? And personally, I have to say, in the spirit of public health, for one, but also just how I feel, I don't believe in having sex with multiple people. I think if we're dating and we're physically intimate, then that's what it is. If you want to have sex with other people, have at it, Playboy, but I'm not a part of it. Then that is your business, and we probably need to put ourselves on ice for a while. But nowadays it just feels like it's a free for all, and I don't think that people look at it. It feels like, especially with these dating apps, that sex is something you do to a woman, not making love with a woman. And I just have a problem with it.